Right, welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this evening for this information sharing relating to the postgraduate diploma in education. My name is Pauline Cooney, and I am one of the admissions officers. I am the admissions officer for primary. My colleague Kenneth is the admissions officer for secondary, Kenneth McLaughlin. And we're also joined this evening, we're also joined by Christina Mayo, postgraduate primary programme leader. So welcome, Christina, and thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Pauline. Can I just, oops, sorry.
Yeah, on you go. No, please do.
So yes, I'm the joint program leader for PGDE, both primary and secondary. So welcome to this evening.
Thank you. So the format for this evening is we're just going to take you through an overview of the program. We'll look at the structure of the program, and we'll talk a little bit about school experience and a few other bits of information, and then we'll open it up to some questions, and we'll endeavour to answer them as best we can. So welcome, a very warm welcome to teaching as a career. And one of the things we thought we would start with is to think about how do we here at the School of Education prepare our students for a career in teaching. And in order for us to do that, we just thought we'd have a little look at what teaching is or teaching can be. And think about it as being something that can be quite complex in nature. It can also be rewarding. It can also at times present some challenges. It's intellectual. There is an ethical component to the teaching profession. It is dynamic, it's context specific, and it is life-changing, both for pupils and learners, and also for the staff involved and for teachers involved too. So the programme, the overall programme. As part of the re-accreditation process in 2021, the programme was regarded as sector leading by the General Teaching Council for Scotland. So the programme includes 90 credits and is at full master's level. It's a full master's programme at a level 11. The philosophy of the programme is that learning and teaching in schools should be underpinned by research and literature, and you'll be exposed to that extensively throughout the programme. So we'd just like to sort of give you an overview of the courses that within the programme themselves. So the first course that we have is called Becoming a Teacher. It's the full title is Becoming a Teacher, Connecting, Challenging and Changing. And you can see how that reflects some of the components that we've just looked at there. So this course, there are lectures and seminars. It's delivered through lectures and seminars, and they are both mixed. Secondary and primary students come together for this course, and we're looking at education from from 3 to sort of 18 context. So through the course, you will develop understanding of and create connections between the personal and professional aspects of learning. We'll be exploring a way of being as a teacher and how it influences your professional practice and values. So we're starting off by looking at you, your identity, what shaped your identity. And the course explores a range of educational topics, including social justice, inclusion, poverty, to name a few. So that's the first course. The second course is called Research and Inquiry-Led Learning and Teaching. Again, this is delivered through both lectures and seminars, and they are both mixed, secondary and primary. So the whole PGDE cohort come together for this course too. It's about research and inquiry-led teaching, which is crucial when we become teachers, as we develop this into a lifelong learning profession. So the course supports you to create evidence-informed approaches to teaching and learning in your classrooms. The evidence we will discuss comes from scholarship, reading, critical thinking on educational theories and research. It includes thinking and discussing in seminars. We reflect on professional learning, both from the course and from school experience. And we discuss about how learning can be used to design a practitioner inquiry. And that's an important part of this course, because when you finish your postgraduate course and engage in your probationary year, a practitioner inquiry is something that you're asked to engage in. So that helps prepare you for that. So the course supports you in creating evidence forms and approaches. I think I've just read all that. Then moving on, we have something called curriculum, pedagogy and practice. And this is where we see a split in terms of secondary and primary cohorts. So we're split by subject-specific class into subject-specific classes. So obviously secondary students will be grouped together depending on their particular discipline. And the primary cohort come together, and they will engage in a full range of subjects that are relevant, obviously, to Curriculum for Excellence, the 8 curricular areas. But within that, the discrete disciplines themselves, and you'll be working with specialists within that subject, many of whom have all taught in schools themselves. So that's called curriculum, pedagogies and practice. And then we have the fourth component, which is school experience. And we have a separate slide on that. So we'll talk a little bit about that in the next slide or two. So the structure of the programme starts in August and finishes in June. It is a 36-week full-time programme. It's divided into 18 weeks in university and 18 weeks in school. There will be 3 written submissions in relation to each of the 3 courses that I've just taken you through, becoming a teacher. So the BAT course, the RELT course, and the CPP course. So 3 essays, so there's no examination in big halls. It's submission of 3 essays, each with about 4,000 word assignments. And school placement or school experience is effectively a continuous assessment approach. We then have, it then sort of forms a moment where, we have moved well away from a moment where a university member of staff arrives and judges you just on that one teaching hour. And what we now have is a relationship which is built between the school and the university. That feeds into something that we call a formative assessment visit by the university tutor, and a report is given on that particular day. And that is a combined report where both the university member of staff and the class teacher will observe your teaching and provide feedback, not a grade at that point, but feedback on what they have observed. So each placement will be assessed with a final report, and that includes statements about your strengths and possible areas for development. And it also includes whether it is satisfactory or unsatisfactory for a range of standards. And that's in relation to values, into knowledge and skills. Okay, so that's the assessment overview for your school placement. The school experience itself, as I've said, we have 18 weeks in school, possibly over 2 or perhaps 3 placements, and hopefully over 2 schools. So each student will be assigned, we call them a school experience tutor, so the university-based school experience tutor. And each school experience tutor works with a cluster or a group of students that are sort of geographically placed in the same sort of geographical area. And the school experience set provides individual support throughout the placement. And in addition to that, they also facilitate learning observations, and also you will attend a seminar where the whole cohort come back together again. So it's not a case of being out in schools and that there is no sort of link towards the university. It's what we call a partnership. And it's a very important partnership that is developed between the school experience tutor and the school mentor and the student. So as I've touched on, as far as assessment for that is concerned, the school experience is measured against the GTCS standards for provisional registration, and the areas for that is professional values and commitment, professional knowledge and understanding, and professional skills and abilities. As far as where you're placed in a school, you are placed within a maximum of 90 minutes travel time from your term time address. So whatever term time address you put down, then you should be no more than 90 minutes. And that's dependent on availability in particular schools or department there. Okay. Just a little bit about Catholic Teaching Certificate. So if there are any students who intend to teach in a Catholic school, we ask that you submit a reference from a priest, so that is required, that's a requirement. And this reference should be submitted to the School of Education, if possible before or as you commence the course. If that's not possible, then students should submit their reference by the first week of Advent. So applied Catholic theology course and placement in a Catholic school gives students their Catholic teaching certificate. So if you wish to or you intend to teach in a Catholic school, you're required to have a Catholic teacher certificate. Okay, I think hopefully that makes some sense. So for primary, it is compulsory if you do want to teach in a Catholic primary school, that you have your Catholic teacher certificate. And for those of you who are secondary, it is optional, but strongly recommended. That if you want to teach in a Catholic school and you're able to, then that it gives you that opportunity to teach between S1 and S4 religious education classes. So yeah, so you have to have passed that particular course, Applied Catholic Theology course, in order to apply for the Catholic Teacher Certificate. And a little bit about the support that we offer here in the School of Education and the wider university. I'll just let you have a little look at that. It's quite extensive. Lots of support around academic writing, if that's something that you felt a little bit unsure of, or you would like further support. There we have student learning and development team. You can make individual sessions with some of the team, but they also run classes that you can attend. There's a disability coordinator for the School of Education, and again, if that's something that you feel you're eligible to do, then you would register any disability. Everybody will be assigned an advisor of studies, and that's really for anything other than academic support that you require. And very often the advisor of studies will signpost and help you, direct you to any bits of information that you require. There's also a student support officer for the School of Education, and there's a little list there about what they can offer in terms of support. And we have a student experience team at the School of Education, and they often give information about how to stay connected, about how to get particular kind of support, any specific support that you require. They run different student events, it's a student hub, and they facilitate things like student voice and where you feel you would like to be heard. That would be the team that you would contact. And here at the School of Education, we're very fortunate to have a clinical consultant, and Freudis offers opportunities for you to have one-to-one sessions or small group sessions to support any well-being, emotional well-being, and Freudis offers these sessions not just while you're in university, but very often when you're on placement. Lots of students find it really beneficial, and Freudis is there, and she has many resources. It's called Place to Be, and she runs events, and she will put out information for you via the student hub, and again, recognise your voice, and Freudis is there to support your well-being. So that's some of the support that we offer. And then just a little note for your diary. We have a one-day induction event which will take place the week beginning the 10th of August. So the actual day is still to be confirmed. It just depends on room availability, and that's still being worked on, but it will definitely take place the week beginning the 10th of August. And then the start date for the postgraduate programme is Monday, the 17th of August. Okay. And then finally, I think we've got a couple more. I've been asked to share this with you. So to join our postgraduate offers holders community, where you can make connections with each other prior to starting. and there's a little QR code that you can scan, and you will get information and receive information by email, an invitation to join the community if you want to scan that. Okay. So that's really a couple of other bits of information, should you wish, some links there, in case there's anything there that you would like further information about: SAS funding, GTCS, Teaching Scotland, postgraduate education for secondary there, and for primary as well. So those links are available for you.